Hey, this is KeNneth Bach. Good morning. Let's see what time it is now. It's 11:06. The date is the 27th of October, 2019. And I got to talk about this before I forget, and I want to say it right up front. I just washed this shirt last night. And for you guys or girls that, are learning how to do laundry, you don't put your shirts in with the towels. See, because this shirt is actually clean. But you look at it, I got to show you. It's kind of funny. I just got to show you. Look at all that lint on there. But I took off my t-shirt and put on another t-shirt. I mean, when I say my t-shirt, the muscle shirts, I took all that off and put this on. But I put this on purpose, and I left the lint on it on purpose to say, guys, girls, don't careful how you mix your laundry, and if you're doing your own laundry. But I should say this, learn how to do your laundry. If you're the man of the family, there's nothing wrong with doing the family's laundry. If you're the woman of the family, there's nothing wrong with doing the laundry. If you're the children of the family, there's nothing wrong with doing the laundry. You should learn the basic skills, just like I talk about cooking. You should learn how to cook. If you're a guy, if you're a girl, a young guy, okay? So when you get older, you can feed yourself, okay? This is KeNneth Bach, motivational speaker. I'm making my protein vitamin setup. Ooh, look at that, I got my face. I didn't shave this morning, but I shaved yesterday. Look at that good, handsome looking man. My goodness. See, and another thing, I changed my shirt on purpose because maybe you didn't want to see my hairy body. But I showed you who I was, and I'm proud of who I am, see? So you got to stop being ashamed of who you are. See, my one friend, and some people do, they shave their whole body. Girls, please shave your legs. I love that when you shave your legs. But if you don't do it, it's okay. Just like I had one girlfriend. Sometimes she shaved her armpits, sometimes she didn't. You know what? I loved her anyway, okay? Loved her anyway. So you have to learn to love the person for who they are, okay? And I hope you'll learn to love me for who I am. I'm KeNneth Bach, motivational speaker. I've done a lot of things. I was in the car business 15 years. Learned about the automobiles. I was the top Corvette salesman in the zone for Steve Moore Chevrolet for a year and a half. I used to take guys and girls, guys, mainly guys. They started sending me their friends, attorneys and doctors. They'd send me their friends, and I'd take them out in a Corvette, a stick shift on purpose, even if they could only drive an automatic, and I'd take them to a little place. It was off the road, by the way. It wasn't on the highway. It was off the road. But it relates me to a history repeats itself. That's another story. You need to find that out. Because years ago when I was a kid, my buddy Joey and I I had a go-kart, he had a mini bike, and we'd go up to this mobile home park, and when it was wet, we would just go up there and have a blast. It was a mobile home park with no mobile homes in it, just all blacktop. Well, saying when I worked at Steve Moore, I discovered this place not far from Steve Moore Chevrolet that, this is the thing I set aside here, and I have a mixer. I couldn't mix it, but I like, just flip that upside down in one of the mixing things, and I could grind it up. I like my fruit whole, okay? So you can have it however you like. But I prepare it in the morning. But let me get back to my story. These guys would send me their buddies, because what I do is I take them. I discovered that I found this mobile home park not far from Steve Moore Chevrolet with no mobile homes in it, brand new fresh blacktop. You could see from street to street. I'd take them over there in a Corvette, always a stick shift like I said. Take them over there, and I'd be just casually driving over there. I'd pull in there. I'd say, hey, you want to see how this car runs? They say, yeah. I said, put your seatbelt on. As soon as they'd put their seatbelt on, bam! I'd drop that clutch and hit that throttle, that gas pedal, and that damn thing, I'd just be fishtailing in that brand new Corvette all over. Excuse me, Steve Moore Chevrolet. Hey, that's how I sold them. That's all I can say. I became the top Corvette salesman in the zone for a year and a half, okay? And then I started selling trucks and started doing other things, started selling used cars, but let's go, that brings me to another point. Because sometimes people look at car salesmen as like, oh, he's going to rip you off. Well, there's some do. Just like there's some good doctors, some bad doctors. There's some good lawyers, some bad lawyers. And they pay the price. You pay the price for everything you do. When I worked at different dealerships, Chevrolet, Ford, and Zuzu, Chevrolet mainly, I worked for John Hall Chevrolet. I'm not giving you no advertisement. I'm just talking about you. But anyway, you have to pay me to advertise for you. But the thing is that I was a professional from the beginning to the end. Because I learned, I mentioned earlier in life, I sold cookware door to door. I learned the soft sale, okay? How to be a soft sale, not to be a pushy salesman. How to be a leader, how to, first I was a follower. I learned how to follow. You got to be a follower first. Because you're young, you're learning the skills of the trade. And then I became a leader. I became a motivational speaker. And I've been practicing my skills, I said, for over 42 years. But it goes back further than that, because really my mom and dad taught me the basics. Sharing, care for others, love one another, love your family, love your friends. And watch out for some of your friends. Because I'm mentioning you, Calvin. You'll remember this one time. My mom was walking by my bedroom when I was a kid. My mom died when I was 11, so you know. I was a young kid then, so you know. But she was walking by my bedroom, and I was in the bathroom, and Calvin's going through my drawers. and I confronted him, because she told me. She said, you know Calvin was looking in your drawers? I said, no, I didn't. I said, but, you know, I went and told him. I said, well, Calvin, I don't do nothing like that at your house. Matter of fact, when they had dinner, this is the McClymonds I'm talking about, they sent me home. I remember only eating there once or twice in my lifetime. Doris would get out on the porch, and we could be down by the lake, and she'd go, yoo-hoo, and they'd come up and go eat. But if we were outside right next to the house, she'd send me home. And I guess she didn't do that to my brother, because he said he ate there many times, my brother Bob. But and him and her wrote letters back and forth years later when he moved down here. I didn't know that. Well, I didn't. Forgive me. Things getting blurry. I don't know why. Must be getting hot. Anyway, let me get back to my message here. My message is, become a professional at what you do. There's a difference between a professional and a con man. A professional follows through, and I say I did what's called a soft sale, meaning I found out what the customer wanted. I asked questions, leading them in the direction I wanted them to go. But only if they wanted to go there. See, you can take a horse to water and he won't drink. And if you leave him there tied up there long enough and he still don't drink, he's going to pass out. Okay. Well, it's the same with customers on the lot. I'd walk around the lot until I landed them on a car. If I didn't land them on a car, I'd walk them around some more. Maybe I'd take them in and show them the dealership a little bit, get a drink of water, talk to them some more, and then go back out on the lot and look again. And until you land them on the car, you can't sell something they don't want, you see. So you just like now, I've been offering my talents for years for free, and I just recently turned on the faucet, and I have some people coming in, and as I connect to them, right away they want to sell me something. God bless you, that's cool, but that's not the way you go about it. You go about it, show them who you are, and let them follow you for a while, and let them decide if they want to sell your product. That's the way I am. I put a video out this morning. Actually, it was a thing about, you know, if you're on my site and you're only about money, shame on you, okay? Because that's not what I'm about. I'm about become a dreamer. Dreams become goals. Develop your skills and your talents. Practice them. Like I do, I've been practicing my principles for over 42 years. I said I did different things, but I still practice my skills and my talents. And now I'm back into, this is what I call my one-on-one, or you can say 1 in a million, because if 1 million people watch this video, that's 1 in a million. It's a one-on-one, okay? And I can get in front of a group. I ain't embarrassed. I ain't ashamed. I might get some butterflies at first, but once I remember what I'm here to do, I'm going to perform. I'm going to perform. You hear me? It's getting a little blurry there. Maybe I need some light in here. Let's turn on the light. Anyway, I'm going to perform for the moment, because it's all about the moment in time. When you're in front of the customer or the customers, millions of people I look at. One day I want to be in front of millions of people. And yeah, I want a big check. I want a big check for being there. Want the biggest check out of all the guys I'm with. I don't care if they're more successful than me. I want a big check. You know why? Because to get me there, it's going to cost you money. I'm talking about businesses now. But I do one-on-ones out there when I'm out past my door. I do them for free because I like to help individuals, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, if I'm in front of a million people, I won't charge you much to get in. But the thing is, sometimes you have to charge something for them to get something out of it. Because sometimes I find, just like even though now I'm successful, I don't worry about money because it's always following me around like a puppy. That's what I wrote today. Because if you develop your skills, you'll always have the necessary money. And the bigger your goals and dreams are, you're going to need more money. So there you go. I laid it on the line for you guys. Yeah, I want you to follow me. I want you to, and I'll follow you. But if I find that's all you're about, if you haven't found your God or you don't vote or all that stuff, I say there's two things. I don't talk about God or religion. I'm talking about it now really, but I'm just stating it. And I don't talk about politics, but I recommend you go vote. Just like I recommend you find your God, okay? Because there is a God out there. How could you look around in this world and not understand there's a bigger power than us? God, Jehovah, okay? And in other languages, they call them other things. But how can you not comprehend that? And a lot of people say, well, what about science, based on science? Well, more and more today, they're finding more and more science goes back to that. I mean, how could we start from a seed, folks? We start from a seed. And I plant seeds, in people's minds. But what I'm planting in your mind today, we start from a seed, and we become who we are. We're not born a salesman. We're not born a lawyer. We're not born a doctor. I was actually at my lawyer's office yesterday, and this is what he asked me, because I won a few lawsuits this year. And I'm proud of myself because I'm persistent. I let them know that I stand up to them. I do my negotiating. My attorneys, except for one, my attorneys let them take over. My attorneys of three, I call them. They knew who they are. Great people. They first I asked them if they believed in me. Yes. And I said I believe in them. And then I said, you not only chose me, but I chose you. See, because I like to interview the people that are going to represent me. And then I decide and let them decide if they want to represent me, and I decide if I want them to represent me. Okay? Because I want them to stand up tall for me, be strong for me, and do what's right. And this is what one of my attorneys said. He says, Ken, just tell the truth. There you go. That put it right on the line. Put everything into perspective. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. But also, I was at my other attorney's office, Fred Scher. Fred, I'm giving you a shout out. And he said to me, Ken, after we talked a little bit, he said, because, I'm still paying him in payments, and thank God, no interest, but of course I tried to negotiate it down, but I told him you deserve every penny, because he helped me. He did the paperwork, I did the negotiating on saving my 2 mortgages, okay? So there you go. Put it on the line. And yeah, I had a lot of tears and real tears going on this year and last year, because my sister hit it on the nose, and I've always believed this, but she put it into perspective for me. She says, Ken, you're... Start crying right now. She says, Ken, you're emotional because you have a big heart. You care about people. And you care about yourself. And you care about the past. Like my one brother says, well, why don't you forget about the past? I said, forget about the past. I want to remember the day that my mom died. I want to remember all the good things about my mom, see, and my dad, and my brothers and sisters when they were little. I want to remember that, because one day maybe I won't be able to. I might get Alzheimer's, but hopefully I won't, because of these vitamins I'm taking. These vitamins I'm taking takes metal out. I discovered years ago metal causes Alzheimer's. Aluminum causes Alzheimer's. Okay, so I'm taking a vitamin, takes the metal out of your blood and takes the plaque out of your blood. But anyway, getting back to my emotions here, is yeah, I have a big heart for you folks. I want to help you. But if you turn me off, you're not going to get this message. This is going to be one of my best videos. And the next one's going to even be better, because I'm always sharpening my skills. There's a saying that they asked President Lincoln years ago. And he said, if I had 9 hours to cut down a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening the axe. Preparation meets opportunity, see? It's going to make it easier for you to cut the tree down. Nowadays we use chainsaws. Keep your blades sharp in your chainsaw, you're going to be there all day cutting down that tree. And the thing is, if you can, think of this for a minute, because I got to throw this in, because I'm really into nature. I've been in nature all my life. I Started out cutting grass with my dad. Used to hate it, but now I love cutting my property. See, I love the smell of grass. I love the smell of horse crap. I love the smell of the trees. I love looking up in the trees and praying for them. How's that? Because trees, grass, everything that's out there, animals, they're living. Animals are creatures. The trees are, you help me, the forest, they're living beings. They're living, okay? Meaning, you cut a tree open, sap will come out. You say, oh, it's sap. Maybe he's crying. Maybe he's crying because he doesn't want to go, okay? I got a story on that. Right now I got to tell you that because it comes to mind. See, I don't use scripts. I don't use none of that stuff. I talk from my heart, and one thing leads me to another. And you might think I jump around, but if you stay focused, you'll get it. And Bob, I'm going to say one more time. You came to my house one time. I got done doing a video. I had the radio going on. I had the TV going on. But I said, if you focus on me, you'll get the message. Well, right now, the only thing I got going on is my two fans and me talking. I'm as bright as day. I'm as wide awake. You see that? No, just tears. No, I don't do drugs. I do a medical thing right now, but I have even been out of that for weeks, and because my thing expired, but it's okay. But the thing is that you have to fix you, okay? You have to decide if you want to focus in on something long enough to get the message, okay? He kept saying, oh, it's a bunch of gibberish. Well, see, that broke my heart that day because I wanted my brother to be proud of me, just like I'm proud of him. See, I always tell my family, oh, I'm proud of what you've done here. I'm proud of what you've done here. But sometimes you don't get the favor back, see? So until you get the favor back, you have to spread your wings and say, I have to get away from you for a while. And right now, my two brothers aren't talking. My brother Frank, my brother Bob, we aren't talking right now because we have something we have to settle. But you have to be man enough, just like I was man enough to stand up to you because things were bothering me. You have to be man enough to come back to me and say, just like I say, we're blood. We can talk about anything. I used to tell my two girls that you can tell me anything, especially if you're at someone's house when you're little and something happens over there, like if somebody's abusing you or even spanking you without my permission, you tell me. I'll take care of it. I remember one time I was watching my daughter Olivia, and this when she was young. We were in Timber Creek. You remember this, Olivia. She was at the bus stop, and she had a bigger friend there, and can't remember her name. Olivia could tell you. And then another little kid. His dad was a preacher, by the way. I do remember that. But this girl, she started beating this little kid up to the point she got him on the ground. She was kicking him. I seen it from my window. Okay. So it stopped. They got on the bus. Boom. I went down later that day and told the girl's father. And this is how ignorant he was. Okay. And I say ignorant. Okay. But I didn't do nothing. All I did was come down and tell him. I saw it. Okay. My daughter saw it too. She witnessed it. He said, okay. He said a couple things. And he goes, oh, no, I don't think my daughter could do nothing like that. I don't think so. I said, I saw it. I saw it. He goes, oh, no, I don't think so. And so I said, okay. I stopped talking. I could tell you can't talk to somebody that's ignorant, okay, that doesn't want to hear it, okay, because they think their kids are great. Well, I didn't never say my kids are, I believe they're great people and became great people, but they also, when they're outside and they don't see me, they might do things like I did. I was a little mischievous at one time, and I got my fair share of scuffles. Last year I got arrested for something I didn't do, okay? For instance, that was the first time I ever got arrested in my life, okay? I was standing up so that nobody would get hurt, but it was a setup. We'll just leave it at that. But let's continue on. So anyway, this guy comes down later after I told him about his daughter. He comes down later and had to my door after he talked to his daughter and had the audacity to tell me again that she didn't do nothing like that. And my daughter witnessed it, okay? I witnessed it. Remember, Olivia? Remember? So I was like, okay, go on. I don't have nothing else to say to you. And I never talked to him again. He lived right down the street on the cul-de-sac, okay? I think his name was Gary, I think. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. But the point is, if you don't accept, like if it was my daughter, I would have spanked her myself. I would have asked her and I said, look, now you tell me the truth because somebody's telling me they saw it and their daughter witnessed it. And the boy that got beat up, he had to witness it because she was kicking him, and he was on the ground. She was kicking him in his kidney, okay? In his kidney. She was kicking him. You know, just like kicking the crap out of him. Like, for what? What do you do that to somebody for? That's what could have happened to me last year. These guys were going to jump me. It turned out to be 10 people. They could have jumped me and took me out. You don't let people take you out. You don't let people ruin your future, okay? But you also accept the fact that if your kids do something or you do something, accept the fact. This is where my attorney came in, for instance. He says, Ken, just tell the truth, and I did. Well, you know what set me free? Was their situation of how many felonies they got, and my situation, what I said in the original, when the officers arrested me. I said, I'd never been arrested. You check me out. I'm supposed to be here. There you are. The one guy drove up on a four-wheeler on the main street. That's illegal. The other guy was on a property that I managed, that I used to own. Okay? And he was told to stay off of it. He let his kids ride four-wheelers on that day to get me over there on purpose. When I first came up, the one kid burned out. That's why I said, where's your parents at? And he said, over there. He's on the lot. He's on the lot. He was already told to be off. And he put up a fence next to it. Illegally, I found out, because I turned him in for that. And they shut him down. So you know what I'm talking about. And now he's not even living there. He said he owned the house. He lied about that too. He never owned it. He rented it. And one thing I found, nothing against renters, because I rented myself, but I always took care of the place where I was at and left it better than when I came in, okay? But now that place looks run down, worse than it was, okay? And I wasn't allowed to go over there. I wasn't allowed to go to my convenience store and pick up my check. I created this store, never stepped foot behind the counter, and I wasn't allowed to pick up my check. I had to stay 500 feet from where that guy was. And he was allowed to go in my store. And he actually threatened some of the people from my store. After the fact, before the fact, it was ridiculous. They were trying to chase us out of town is what they were trying to do. See, now I say it like this. I never look for trouble. But I also say, don't come looking for it from me, because I will stand up to you. I will not be taken out early, maybe by accident. Maybe a car will run over me. And forgive me for saying that. I don't want nothing to happen. I want to live to be 120 so I can come to you and give you my thoughts, and you can say whether or not you like it or not. And I want to give you the knowledge that I've learned. I got to make these things for my dog. I'm making some energy. I got 2 raw eggs there. I got some probiotics, by the way. I'm getting back to what I was talking about, because watch, I'm going to jump back in. And I got some fish oil. I'm going to give them fish oil. I got a little glucosamine. I'm going to grind up a quarter of it to my little dog, half of the rest of it to my other dog. I got some zinc I'm going to give them. And I got some vitamin Super B+. I'm going to break that up just a little bit to my little dog and the rest to my big dog. That's what I'm making for them. And I'll beat it up and feed it. They love it, but it's making their coats look good, making them strong. Well, that's what you got to do with yourself. See, you have to nourish your body to be able to stand up. But you also, and I'm going to say it more than anything, because your mind will take care of the rest. If you nourish your mind, your brain, and train your subconscious mind to go after your goals and your dreams, like I said, you'll never have to worry about money. But you'll also think about your health. When I turned 40, I was working out and everything. I was 45 pounds heavier than where I am right now. I lost 45 pounds, folks. Okay, but when I turned 40, I felt 60. I'm now 61 and I feel 35, and it's going down daily. I might end up being 20 one day. Who knows? But all I'm saying is I feel great. My energy level's up there. My mind's thinking great because I take my vitamins, the ginkgo I'm taking from my brain. Okay, but there's one vitamin that takes the plaque out of my blood, which your plaque clogs your whole body up and everything stops functioning properly. I wanted to be a rep for them, but at the time my company wasn't big enough. But you know what? I'm big enough now. I don't need you. I don't need you, but I will. I'm not going to say who it is either, even though I have a lot of empty bottles that I give out to people. I still advertise in that respect because I want to save lives. But it takes the plaque out of your blood and it takes the metal out of your blood. Metal causes Alzheimer's. I learned that from the cookware business, the waterless cookware business, because people cook with aluminum pans, folks. And that terrible, used to be the Teflon. Now they have an upgraded Teflon. Well, if it's coming off, I don't care if you have the best of the best and it's still coming off, you're still eating it, folks. You're still eating it, okay? So you have to be careful what you're putting in their body, just like we need to clean up our oceans, folks, I clean up around my properties every day when I'm able to go on my properties. I clean them up every day. You know why? Because that's out of pride. I show, look, you might be putting trash on my properties, but I want to show you in KeNneth Bach's properties, they're going to look good because I take pride in it. I'm proud of I said this in my video too, I believe in the police. I believe in them, but also don't manhandle me either. They manhandled me that day, and I wasn't happy about it because they weren't listening to me. Because somebody called and said, oh, he's got something. Well, nothing happened. Nobody got hurt because of me. See, if I didn't do something and react to the situation on the property I was managing, I was going to be taken out behind my convenience store and maybe killed. Okay? Just because you got a problem with life doesn't mean I want your problems. I'll help you. If you knew I was a motivational speaker and I'm out there trying to help your children in that community, in where I have my other houses, I try to help all children, fatherless and motherless children, and children that don't have good guidance, and adults that didn't have good guidance or have stinking thinking. Anything that has to do with that, I want to help you. I offer it to you. But again, you have to make that decision whether or not you want to accept it. Because see, it's like a battery. You have a positive terminal. When you talk about a car battery, any battery you talk about, there's a positive side and there's a negative side. Okay, you can either decide to accept what I'm offering to you and maybe play this video a few times to get it, or you can reject what I'm offering. And like my brother came in that one day and said, oh, sounds like a bunch of gibberish to me. Well, Bob, this ain't no gibberish. You need to focus in on this one. And I might even send you this one. This is now 26 minutes, and you'll know I mentioned your name. I'll say 26 minutes, you'll see your name was mentioned. Frank, I'm talking to you. You need to call me. My sisters call me. They understand. They know what I'm going through, especially my sister Peg. She gets it, see, and I get her too. I get her. I understand her. Linda and I, we understand each other. We had to have it out this year. We had to because we certain things she didn't like about me and certain things I didn't like about her. We had to hit it on the head. And same with that's why I came to my brothers. That's why I talked to my sister Nancy about her son, Jeff. He needs to wake up and say, you know what? That's my past. I got to remember it. Don't let it happen again. But I don't want to hurt nobody else. I don't want nothing else to happen. I want to move forward. I want to jump out of this thing. I want to look over the table like you do when you're a little kid. You finally look over the table. Here you go. I'm pretending I'm a little kid. Let's pretend, right? Let's pretend. First time I could see over the table. It's like, oh my goodness. Now you can see all the cool stuff. There's some food I might want. Oh, geez, there's my dad's keys. Let me get those keys. Or whatever you're thinking. Whatever the situation. Think back. Can you remember? Can you remember? Okay? You should be. You should develop your mind to. And they found that older people that lost muscle mass, that lost brain. I had a friend of mine that had half his brain taken out. They said he could have even been a vegetable or he could have been fine. Well, within a few days, he was up and walking around like nothing happened because he was having seizures, see? And it wasn't until the doctor, and I'm not going off, I want you to focus in on this. This is what my friend Brad told me, I'm mentioning you, Brad, is that it wasn't until the doctor got cancer that he decided to help Brad. And the reason why I say that, because the doctor was getting $500 a pop every time he showed up. And taking his money, sometimes twice a week, boom, boom, boom. Taking his money, he was having seizures to the point it was just unbelievable. He had a seizure one time, he was here helping me work on my car. He's a master mechanic. He's a master. You're going to get me crying, Brad. He's got skills and talents when it comes to building old Mustangs. He does everything in them. Except for, I think, the interior, he can order it and then he put it in. But when you talk about body work, you talk about painting, you talk about welding, you talk about doing brakes, you talk about doing lighting, doing the whole thing. He doesn't like you see a lot of these vehicles today, they call them rat rods. He doesn't like them, see, because he likes it. He's a perfectionist. He likes it just right. Remember, he had half his brain taken out, and people thought he was going to be a vegetable. He came out of it, but right now he's in a negative state, see, because he lost his wife this year. But his son also, I had to point this out. His two sons lost their mother too, Brad, okay? and ask them what their goals are, what their dreams are, okay? Because it's not just about you, Brad. It's about the whole picture. Maybe even ask me what my goals are. I ask you, folks, what are your dreams and goals? I ask you, tell me. Leave a message, leave a comment. Folks, I ask you to follow me. You don't have to. I ask you, folks, become one of my leaders. And if you are a leader already, I'll follow you. I'll put my tail between my legs to follow you, to show you until I show you who I am too. And then if we become friends, this is talking about you, Glenn. His son's fighting this next week, but I'm talking to you, Glenn. That if we're friends, it's not just about you all the time and your family. It's also about my family and me. Meaning, if I want to do one of the complications we're having, maybe you need to watch this video, Glenn. And in 30 minutes of this video, you'll hear me talking about you. I say that I asked you one time. I wanted you to meet my daughter and my son-in-law one time. Dude, couldn't find the time. And I was going there watching your son work out, and I was working out with you guys. But when I asked you to do something with me, boom, couldn't do it for some reason. I don't know. But you wouldn't take the time out for me, so I can't take the time out for you no more. And I know your son's in the right frame of mind, but you know what? He needs me too. He needs me too, just like I need him, okay? I need everybody out there, but I can also live without you, okay? So forgive me for saying that. But what I want to say, remember, there's negative and there's positive, and then there's reality, and then there's facts, okay? There's fiction, and then there's, do you want to be like the Jetsons? We're almost there. I'm going to have one day. I'm going to have me, it's going to look like an old, the one I seen might be different. Mine might look like I have my Z06 Corvette. Hold on, I got to show you. I got rid of it, but I still have a couple things. Hold on one second there. Let's see if I can show you. A couple facts here. Facts. Hold on. I'm coming. Well, it's not the best picture, but I have one. Okay. Let me show you a couple things. I just got to show you. But it was a yellow Z06. I bought it from John Hall, by the way, Matthew. Don't forget, okay? All right, Z06 2002. It only had, I think it had 23,000 when I bought it. But right before I had that, I had this Blazer. I only had it for 30 days because I didn't like it. Traded it back in for an Impala because, you know, they have the 30-day thing now. But look, see what's in the background there? That's right, I went there with my girlfriend. But here's a picture of my Z06. I have one where I'm standing next to it, but I think that's one that was parked in front of my garage. But I'm not, you know, here's the way I look at it. And it's funny because if a car breaks down, but it gets me home, or if I get towed home, I'm cool. But if it breaks down and I don't like it anymore, I want to sell it. But if it's been good to me for a long time, then I'll think about it. Like I have a van right now that I was in Walmart a few weeks ago. It broke down, they towed me home, but I was at Walmart from 1 o'clock in the morning till 4 in the morning. It took 3 hours to get it 2 miles to my house. One guy came out from Progressive, I'm talking about you, Progressive, came out from Progressive and we couldn't start it. I thought it was a dead battery because I haven't driven it in a while, but it wasn't. I haven't found out the thing yet because I'm driving my other vehicles. But the thing is, then I said, can you call me a tow truck? Now, I don't know if he did or not because I waited, and then I finally called. And then it took a while to come out, and nothing against the guy that came out because he did a great job. Hooked it up, boom, we got home. Okay, but I was at Walmart, but while I was there, I just locked up my vehicle and I kept my phone on me, kept going in Walmart, doing one-on-ones. I call them one-on-ones, just what I'm doing here. I try to inspire people when I'm out and about. You see I'm starting to sweat for you? By the way, I got to start stirring this for my girls here. Anyway, what I'm saying, folks, is you got to learn some skills, develop your mind, develop your body, if you're into your health. I didn't say you had to be like Arnold. Be you. I'm KeNneth Bach. Kenny Bach to my family, to some girlfriends. I let them call me Kenny. KeNneth Bach to some of my business associates. And I used to say when I was in the car business, Bach is back, because I left John Hall for a little while and I came back and I ended up working there 4.5 years. But I came back and I sent out a thing, thanks to Frida and myself, and we put in one of the advertisements, I wish I could probably look it up, and said, Bach is back. Ken Bach is back, just like right now. Ken Bach is back. I recovered from this year's trials and tribulations and some of the things that happened last year, because when you go to court, folks, sometimes it takes 14 to 18 months to get things cleared up. Just like some of the lawsuits I won. They didn't take care of me at first. For instance, I'm remodeling my kitchen. That's why you see my refrigerator over here. You're like, geez, you got a small kitchen. Well, it's supposed to be over here. And just real quick, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm tearing out my whole kitchen. You're going to be like, holy crap. Well, I'm gonna insulate it because there was no insulation up there. I've always wondered why my kitchen was so hot, but I already insulated the rest of my house. And but I'm going to insulate it, but I'm also going to put metal roofing, okay, in the inside and on the outside. You know, the metal, modern looking metal. And then I'm also going to change my sink. I got a sink to replace that a guy gave me, that when we were out and about, Blaine gave me. It's a big old porcelain sink, one big sink, and it's got one of the spray bottles on it, spray sinks. And anyway, I'm going to, this capsule while we're talking, I'm going to install that. So my kitchen, within a few months, before the end of the year, it'll be finished. Because I work on a bunch of projects. Just like now, I've done quite a few videos this morning, okay? The other day, I started at 3 in the morning, did 3 videos while I was laying in my bed, because I tell you, my subconscious wakes me up, because I've trained it to work on my goals and my skills. And what my goals are is to help you become successful, to help you want to follow me, to see that, look, I'm not here to take your money. I'm not saying you're not going to want to offer me money, because you can participate in my affiliate programs and sell my merchandise, or you sell some of my videos. This one here is one of my hottest videos. If you don't want this video, then you're not watching it or paying attention, okay? Because if you don't think I can help you, I'm sitting here sweating for you, not for me. There's a fan going on over there. I'm sweating not because I'm fat and overweight. Hell, I'm in shape right now. I am 195. That's my fighting weight. You understand? I was up 45 pounds heavier than that. Don't get me wrong, I was strong, and I had muscle mass, but I wasn't healthy in my bloodstream, and everything was like stopped up. Now all my kidneys are working right, my liver's working good, my heart's working good. I'm not worried about having a heart attack. I can work out like yesterday. I worked all day on my different projects, see? Because like I said, I have different projects. This here will get done. This will all get done by the end of the year, my goal is. But if it takes longer, so what? I have one room in there. It took me 2 years to finish it. I remodeled it. Let's see. I did it all in cedar. And you say, well, geez, that could be done in 2 weeks. I don't know if you can see it. Well, you see my cedar chest there, by the way. See the cedar ceiling? It's a flat roof. I couldn't think of what to do with it, but I figured it out. I started from the outside, and let's see something here. 82%. Let's unplug this for 1 second. I'm going to show you the ceiling. I got to show you, because you're going to be thinking, why didn't you modify it and make it a gable roof or whatever? What I did is I sat here at my couch, right here, which couch I had when I was married, by the way. But I sat here and I thought, what can I do with this flat roof? Well, I had all this cedar and by the way, what took me so long is that little section over here is the only section I bought. The rest of this cedar room, all the cedar, I got